Quick warning before we begin. If you're still holding altcoins, this video is going to feel personal. Because 2025 wasn't just bad, it wiped people out, silently. And here's the part nobody is talking about. That pain might be the exact reason 2026 looks completely different. So don't skip this, watch till the end, because most people quit right before this moment. Alright, let's just get right into it. 2025 was a total bloodbath. And if you're watching this, I'm guessing you probably felt every single painful second of it. You know that feeling, right? The pit in your stomach every single time you dare to open your portfolio. The little glimmer of hope, then another dip, and then another one. Look, you're not alone, but the pain of 2025 is actually hiding a completely different story for 2026, and that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. Okay, so first things first. Before we can even talk about the future, we have to be brutally honest about the past. 2025, it wasn't just a correction. For a lot of altcoins, it was basically an extinction-level event. I mean, just look at this number. We're not talking about a slow bleed here. In just 2 months, 60 days, the altcoin market lost over 62% of its value. That is a massive, rapid collapse. That's what true capitulation looks like. So where did all that money go? Well, it went right here. It ran for the hills. In times of extreme fear, the market always does the same thing. It flees to the market leaders. Capital just drained out of those high-risk alts and poured right back into the perceived safety of Bitcoin. I've got to ask, did you feel that? That weird gravity pull where it felt like Bitcoin was just sucking all the oxygen out of the room for every other project? Let me know down in the comments. You know, acknowledging the pain is one thing, but actually understanding why it all happened, that's how you get ready for what comes next. So, let's dissect the mechanics of that crash. So, the thing to understand is this wasn't just one cause. It was a perfect storm, a three-headed dragon, if you will. First, high interest rates around the world just completely choked off the easy money that fuels all that altcoin speculation. Second, Bitcoin's dominance really flexed its muscles, pulling capital away from everything else. And third, maybe the biggest killer of all, uncertainty. The regulatory environment was this thick, dense fog, and let's be real, nobody makes serious investments when they can't even see the road ahead. Come on, we've all been there. No judgment here at all. The pressure was just immense. Did you manage to hold through it, or did the fear just get to you? Okay, and here's where the entire story starts to pivot. Because while most people were just staring at those red charts, completely demoralized, a new foundation was quietly being built right under the surface. The seeds for a very different 2026 were being planted in the ashes of 2025. And this right here, this just illustrates that shift perfectly. This single line from a White House executive order way back in January 2025, it signaled the beginning of the end of that regulatory fog. It was basically a promise to move away from chaos and toward clarity. And that's the key. While everyone was totally focused on the price, they were missing the much bigger picture. Three fundamental forces were aligning behind the scenes, getting the market ready for its next major cycle. So how do we know things might actually be different in 2026? Well, let's look at three key signals that are starting to emerge from the data. And this isn't about hype, okay? This is about building a logical case for what could be coming next. First up, the macro environment. In 2025, high interest rates made borrowing money expensive and safe investments look pretty good. But in 2016, the Federal Reserve is projected to keep cutting those rates. To put it simply, cheaper money means more capital out there looking for higher returns. And that capital, it often finds its way into riskier assets, like altcoins. Second, that fog we talked about, it's finally starting to lift. The Clarity Act, which passed the House in 2025, is an absolute game changer. It's designed to replace years of legal fights with a clear, predictable rulebook. And this is the single most important thing for big institutional money. They don't invest in chaos. They invest when there are clear rules of the game. So, what do you think? Is this the missing piece of the puzzle? Do you think a clear regulatory framework will finally open the floodgates for mainstream adoption and all that institutional capital we keep hearing about? And finally, signal number 3, market cycles. Look, history doesn't exactly repeat, but man, it often rhymes. Just look at this data. Massive, gut-wrenching, soul-crushing bear markets have historically been followed by absolutely explosive bull rallies. The pain of the crash literally creates the foundation for the next parabolic move. The big question is, are we just seeing that same pattern play out all over again? Hey, if you appreciate analysis that cuts through all the hype and just focuses on the facts, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps out. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. With the macro environment shifting in our favor, regulatory clarity finally on the horizon, and historical cycles pointing up, are we on the verge of the most explosive altcoin season we have ever seen? Or was 2025 the final nail in the coffin? Drop your take in the comments below.